Spotify's Alps tour began and ended in Seefeld, Austria, a sweet little alpine town, the gateway to the Alps, they call it. We rode just under 2,000 miles in 13 riding days, averaging 150 miles per day. At the end of each day, our gang of 10 motorcycle enthusiasts gathered for dinner and relayed the exciting moments of the day. Here are the highlights. We were so impressed by how the landscape was so green and clean. Traffic was light, and we rode through numerous tunnels with a variety of lengths. Deep valleys surrounded by giant mountains with passes allowing access to the other side. Because the mountains are so steep, the passes require many switchbacks, making the Alps ideal for motorcyclists. We got a little rain in the late afternoon, just as we were nearing the hotel, where we enjoyed the spa with its sauna and steam room. The pace was a little slower today due to the increased traffic. Jason loved the canyons where there were no cars, just bikes on smooth road. He also enjoyed all the tunnels. I liked seeing all the small, quaint towns, each having its own church and steeple. Bob liked seeing the big mountains, both those nearby and those in the distance, and the rivers flowing through the valleys. Samantha liked the switchbacks on the passes and the concentration they require. She kept up the mantra, "Head up, look through the curve." She also liked talking to her son through the comms. Francie liked the last bit going through the green valley with the small villages. She also enjoyed the photo experience with Kevin. Shout out to Kevin Wing, a professional sports photographer. Most of the still photography in this video is thanks to him. At the hotel, we had a nice Asian fusion dinner and lively conversation. Day 3 was a 5-pass ride with switchbacks going all the way up and then back down again on the backside. Jason liked the beautiful rugged granite pass with the cliffs going straight up. The lunch spot was cool with lots of campers and hikers. The flowing rivers were beautiful. Nice, pleasant, open space without a lot of people, not like the crowded and busy Lake Tahoe. Day 3 was also a break day, meaning we stayed in the same hotel again that night. So the 5-pass ride was optional, and I opted out and hiked to a waterfall. Other hikers passed me on the trail would greet me with a term I wasn't familiar with. I'd pass a group and every person would say, "Grüezi." It didn't sound like German, and I had taken French in high school, so I was pretty sure it wasn't French. So, Italian? Later, I learned it was Grüezi, a greeting unique to Switzerland. So, Grüezi, everyone. When Jason got back from his ride, we explored the town and the Devil's Bridge, which was built of wood in the 13th century and replaced by stone in the 16th century. The stone bridge has since been replaced and expanded several times. The newest bridge dates back from 1956. After that, Jason took me to one of the 5 passes, the famous Fruka Pass, where Sean Connery drove in Goldfinger in 1964. Bond. Jason Bond. In the morning, we rode through Fruka Pass once again, which was Caleb's highlight for the day. After that, we covered miles across Switzerland, getting us in a good spot for tomorrow's ride, but wasn't as exciting as the other days. I enjoyed watching the German slowly give way to French with a sprinkling of Italian in the transition. I also liked the grapevine fields and the fruit trees. Jason got a little frustrated with all the roundabouts. Samantha remarked that it was very hot, but enjoyed going through the busy towns. Judd said that Francie, our guide for the day, kept tricking him, saying, "Almost there, almost there." Francie enjoyed the morning ride when the sun came out, and the villages with their wooden houses, and the last bit going through the residential windy road. Caleb also enjoyed these twisties at the end. Kevin said he enjoyed the canopies of trees, reminding him of North Carolina, and he liked Switzerland's smooth pavement. Bob liked the windy roads at the end, and finally seeing the hotel. The hotel was the nicest so far, and we had a good dinner in a hip restaurant with live music. Ben said we rode to paradise. In the large space of the sky, we could see forever, a magnificence that cannot be captured in a picture. Bob also enjoyed the views from Galibier. Judd said, "The cyclists were nuts." When I asked Samantha what was her favorite, she said, "The top was great. Loved the views." She also noted the change in weather and things not as green. On the way down, Samantha got a bug inside her helmet. Judd passed her on the side of the road, having a conniption fit, getting the bug out of her tangled hair. Kevin enjoyed the great rhythm of climbing all the way to the top. He recalled that 20 years ago he rode the same pass with his father, but in the opposite direction. He enjoyed the memories. Caleb also liked going up Calibrier, cold but sunny with nice hairpin turns. He also liked Peter racing the cars, then added, "Oops, no, don't include that." I liked going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh over the windy mountain roads with overhanging trees. Jason liked the skill test of passing cars with calculated risk. He was also impressed by the skills of the truck drivers driving their big rigs through tight turns without incident. At one point, a brown UPS truck joined our pack. The truck must have been empty because he stayed with us for a long time. Peter said he thought the driver was crazy. I commented that the roads in France were bumpier than Switzerland, and Peter agreed. He said that Switzerland was the gold standard for road conditions. Francie, whose turn it was to drive the van, said her favorite part of the day was getting reunited with our group in the evening for a good dinner. Judd agreed. He said, "None of the meals have been bad," and then laughed his hearty laugh. Day 6 was another break day. Jason spent the day purchasing equipment to get his navigation system to work in Europe. I went to the Cité Historique, a nice touristy spot with lots of restaurants, souvenir shops, and gelato kiosks along an old road leading to a citadel. I liked walking the street knowing that it still held the same commerce function as it did when it was built in the 17th century. Our gang reunited for dinner where Jason and I shared a meat fondue. Day 7 marked the halfway point and the beginning of the eastbound return trip where we will explore the southern side of the Alps. Gone are the lush green fields of the north, but so too is the rain. The south side has more blue skies, though hot and dry. Caleb said, "It was a hard ride today. Everything was hot. The engine was hot, the air was hot, I was hot." But Judd, being from Arizona, said he liked the heat, and he really enjoyed riding down the mountain. He said all the passes have improved his skill, that he only went left of center once. Big improvement. Samantha liked the little town where we had lunch. Very nice old-style stone architecture softened by sweet touches of flowers. Caleb agreed that the town was a hidden gem. The waterfall over the tunnel was especially delightful. Ben said he was still thrilled by all the passes. They amaze him because passes like these are not allowed in China. They have all been closed for being too dangerous. Peter said the pass after lunch was his highlight for the day. Jason agreed that it was the best riding with the best switchbacks, turns that went on forever. Day 8 was another ground-covering day, just going from A to B with a few interesting things thrown in. Here are the main things we talked about around the dinner table. 1. The ferry ride was just what we needed to rest and get cooled off. 2. The altercation in the parking lot between two screaming Italian women added a lot of amusement. 3. Samantha wiping out at the end of the day. She wasn't going more than 10 miles per hour, so there was no damage to her or to her bike, but she got right back on the horse and kept going. Good for her. 4. The navigational error putting us on the Autobahn, adding 15 minutes and $12 per bike to our journey. 5. Peter setting up a nice picnic lunch for us and accidentally seeing him in the van going around the roundabout. And 6. The frustration at getting passed by scooters and mopeds. When I asked Bob what was his highlight for the day, he said, "Splugen, without a doubt." Everyone agreed. Judd said it was amazing with the mountains all around, a lot of fun. Samantha liked the switchbacks where she could look down at the rest of the group. Caleb said it was the most fun he's had all week. It was great to ride with better riders. He could see that he was slowly getting better. Kevin also agreed that he appreciated following Peter. He was also proud that he popped a wheelie with the witness. Bob was also happy that he caught some air. When I asked Ben, he was quiet and checked his phone. I thought he didn't hear me, and I was about to ask him again when he said, "I'm busy counting how many turns. 51! There was even a switchback inside a tunnel." Jason remarked on the super smooth road. You could just about fly on it. Just after going down the pass, the terrain leveled out into a high-altitude valley called Abula, linking two passes. I liked this high meadow with lots of people hiking. It had a good vibe. Peter said this is where the elite of Europe go to ski. Franzi and Caleb both mentioned Como Lake, that it was very picturesque. Peter said one of the highlights for his day was being able to reunite the group after it split into 3 during refueling. Sam was also very happy that nobody dropped their bike today. Highlight of the day for Kevin was seeing the iconic Stelvio, looking down from the top onto what he had seen in so many photos before. He liked the nice pavement on the backside and was pleasantly surprised all the turns kept on going longer than he had expected. He liked the busy scene up on top and guessed that it must be really busy on the weekends. Jason liked the cool morning without a lot of traffic, and the second pass, Gavia Pass, had good pavement. He liked the switchbacks and that the motorcycle control panel recorded his maximum lean angle. And the chocolate sundae drink really hit the spot. Franzi also enjoyed Stelvio, though we got unlucky with the traffic. She liked the lunch spot with its view in the mountain setting, cool temperature, and fast service. Caleb liked when our group joined another group, and we made a long train for motorcyclists riding along a narrow road between rock and metal. He also enjoyed riding behind Bob. He's a good rider and was glad it didn't rain even though the clouds looked threatening. Bob, well, in addition to Stelvio, liked riding through the 5 seconds of mist from a waterfall. Samantha liked swishing over the road in turns when there was no traffic. Ben liked today because it was his birthday and he got a bottle of wine. He enjoyed the honor of pouring drinks for everyone. Judd's special memory for the day was getting lost with Ben. And I liked riding by all the apple orchards, all pruned to grow up straight and tall. Jason got up early, leaving at 6 a.m., and had a nice morning ride without traffic. On his own, without group time constraints, he could stop for a photo whenever he wanted. He got back after a couple hours, and together we took the gondola up to a small town and hiked around. We ate lunch at a nice pizzeria with a nice view of the Dolomite Mountains, where he had just been riding, and then, back in town, we walked through the downtown shopping area enjoying the scene and a gelato. Day 12, the second to the last biking day. We split the group, hoping to alleviate some of the traffic issues. This made a unique chance for Ben to follow behind Franzi, chasing and overtaking and learning from her skill. Judd didn't mind the traffic. He said he enjoyed going slower so he could take it all in. Franzi liked the road to and from the lake where we stopped for lunch, and the ride from Falls Arago with its nice sweeping corners and little traffic. Kevin said he actually enjoyed the rain and being on top with all the clouds. The rain cleared and he got a few good pictures, and then it was fun to see the weather change for the better after he got through a long tunnel. Jason said although riding in traffic, passing the same silver bus 3 times, and making an extra circle through that congested town, he didn't mind. It was very technical, and that made it interesting. He also enjoyed the picnic lunch at the lake. Bob thought the scenery from Gardena to Forlanzo was impressive, with mountains shooting up right and left. Sam liked going through all the cars with Bob. It was good practice, and she didn't hit anybody. Car drivers here seem to be more tolerant of motorcyclists compared to U.S. drivers. Caleb said going down from the top was a great view with all the waterfalls. The weather should have made it stressful, but it wasn't. It was just stunning. My highlight was the same as Caleb. In addition to the stress of the rain, Jason and I had engine trouble. He had to push-start the bike going down the wet cobblestone road, but he got it to work. Just after that, the sun came out and just glistened on the wet green grass, waterfalls trickling down in the middle of scooped-out valleys. I didn't film it. I just wanted to be in the moment and savor the memory. The last day of the tour. The engine trouble we had the day before didn't fix itself overnight, but fortunately Edelweiss had a spare bike, though it was pretty small for the 2 of us to ride. That, combined with more rain, I opted to ride in the van today. Jason thought the spot where they had lunch was a very special place, with no tour buses. It seemed to be known only by the locals, and he imagined the view would have been spectacular had it been clear. Peter said it was like riding in the clouds, and they played peekaboo, clearing for a moment for a quick view of the scenery. Judd, from Arizona, doesn't see clouds very often and hasn't seen rain since April, so rain and clouds were spectacular to him. Even the cow pooping in the road was interesting. Sam also liked the top of the pass when it finally cleared up, but it was just too rainy to be considered an enjoyable day. Caleb remarked that the lunch restaurant smelled really good and it was nice and warm. The final stretch was nice and green. Kevin thought it was a good last day. Weather was amazing when it wasn't raining and made us slow down and take it all in. Both Bob and Ben had very different takeaways for the day. They both got tickets. Bob was impressed by how nice the policeman was and the efficiency of payment by credit card right on the spot. Ben said the day had many small shining parts, but his favorite was getting stopped by the policeman. His first time ever. It was a good experience, he said. We made it full circle all the way back to Seafield.
Riders on the storm, riders on the storm. Into this house we're born, into this world we're thrown.
It was a great trip. We met some neat people, biked over some awesome roads, saw some beautiful scenery, and have good memories that will last a lifetime.